And welcome back to the Spearfish High School gym for the second game of our Black Hills Conference doubleheader tonight as the Spearfish Spartans host the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. As we get ready for the boys contest, the St. Thomas More Cavaliers come in with a record of 10-3 on the season. They're 4-1 in the Black Hills Conference, just outside the top 5 in Class A boys basketball. The Spearfish Spartans, well, they had a short little stint there in the top 5 of Class AA boys hoops. But after coming off of a 30-point win over Red Cloud, they're hoping to get back-to-back wins tonight. They're 7-2 on the season and 4-0 in the Black Hills Conference. We have another clash for you tonight. Stay tuned. Live right here on KDSJ Radio and KDSJ-TV will lay the foundation next.
Area. Satisfied customers returned again and again for everything from collision repair to custom paint, glass and windshield, and the best hail repair in the region. They're preferred by most insurance companies and work with all of them. Jake's Collision Repair of Spearfish and Sturgis. Give them a Google today for the best repair on your vehicle, guaranteed.
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines, supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
And welcome back to our Jake's Collision Repair Countdown to Tip-Off. Here to lay the foundation, that's being brought to you by Heiserling Concrete. Head coach of the Spearfish Spartans, Ben Schultz, joins us with our pregame show.
And let's preview a little bit
Coach,
of our visiting team up on the scoreboard, the St. Thomas More Cavaliers, as they come in with a record of 10-3
and welcome back
on the
to our
season
Jake's Collision
under head
Repair
coach Dave
Countdown.
Hollenbeck. And they come in winning 3 games in a row after a win at the Hanson Classic, taking down Dakota Valley Panthers 62-54. Before that, they got wins over Lee, Deadwood, and Custer to begin this 3-game winning streak. So coming off of a victory at the Corn Palace in Mitchell at the Hanson Classic on Saturday, an 8-point hard-fought win for St. Thomas More Cavaliers. In that victory, their 3 losses this year has come against some tough opponents. Against Houston, Tennessee, down at the Hoop City Classic in Mitchell. And then they also lost to Campbell County out of Gillette. They also had a defeat to Rapid City Christian, a team that's number 3 in the state for Class A. And then since that loss to Rapid City Christian on January 14th, they have not lost as they get ready for their matchup against the Spearfish Spartans tonight, right here on KDSJ Sports. And let's see, we will take a 30-second break and have a conversation with the head coach of the Spearfish boys basketball team. That is Ben Schultz, as our own Clayson Davis, our Spartan insider, had a chance to catch up with Coach Schultz. We'll hear that coming up next.
No matter what life throws in your direction, Dana Dental Arts and Spearfish reminds you to make you and your family's dental health a top priority. Putting off small problems now can lead to big ones later. We are small enough to feel like family, but big enough to bring you the latest technology. Before your lives get too hectic with school, sports, and other extracurricular activities, schedule a comprehensive exam now. We love our patients. Celebrating 50 years of dentistry in Spearfish.
Let our family care for your family.
And welcome back to our Jake's Collision Repair Countdown to Tip-Off. Here to lay the foundation, that's being brought to you by Heiserling Concrete. Head coach of the Spearfish Spartans, Ben Schultz, joins us with our pregame show. Coach, you guys had a dominant win versus Mapaya Luta last week. Talk about what you've seen from your team as you had a lot of ball club players enter the game versus the Crusaders.
Yeah, it's always good to mix in some guys to get some experience in varsity games, but yeah, I liked how we defended in that game. We rebounded at a really high level. I thought our ball movement was really good on offensive end, and found a way to get the ball inside for paint touches, and then which in turn creates some good 3-point opportunities for us as well. But all around, a solid game for us. The execution standpoint on the offensive end wasn't great in the first quarter, but I thought our second and third quarter were excellent with that. which propelled that lead to grow.
You've had a whole week off. What have you done in this week of practice to help better your team during this stretch?
Yeah, it was a good time for us to kind of twist our offensive actions a little bit, especially with the matchups that we have coming up here tonight, and then also with Rep City Central, just putting new twists to our actions and working on those execution standpoints. But just, you know, in AA basketball and playing top level A competition, coaches are going to have you scouted. So just to refresh a little bit and also make twists to try to give us an edge here this week.
What does the injury report look like for this week?
Injuries were fine. Right now we're kind of going through a spell of some illness over the weekend, myself included, and a number of players missing Friday practice, missing school yesterday as well. So we're looking to get healthy in that standpoint. But for injuries wise, we're good to go. It's just illness kind of hitting us hard right now.
Is there anyone going to be out for tonight's game due to illness?
Not that I know of right now. It's going to be like kind of a game time decision with a number of our guys. So we'll kind of have to wait and see on that.
Looking at the St. Thomas More Cavaliers, traditionally a really good team in the Black Hills Conference. So what did they do well on film with this year's team that you're looking out for?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're very similar to Brandon Valley, where they don't make many mistakes. They execute at an extremely high level. They play their roles to the best of their abilities. They don't miss blockouts on defense. You know, they're very physical. They apply a lot of ball pressure, and they have very capable scorers all over the place too. So they put a lot of strain on teams to where you're forced to be very good to beat teams like this.
With this Black Hills Conference rivalry, it seems like the Cavaliers have had the Spartans' number, as according to my record books, Spearfish has not beaten the Cavaliers since January 27th, 2015. So what are some of the challenges of trying to beat a team that you guys haven't been able to beat in 9 years?
Well, yeah, you know, just for the reasons I just listed, you know, they're a very tough team to beat, and especially at home. And last year we had an opportunity to beat them at their place, and we fell short, especially from the free throw line. I think we missed like 9 free throws in the fourth quarter, and it ended up going to overtime and lost in overtime. So, you know, that's a game that we came out of where we're looking back on. It's like, man, we should have came out on top there. But they were a tougher team that night last year. They hit their free throws at the end of the game, and we didn't. You know, it's as simple as that. But this year, you know, it's at our place, and we understand what type of effort we need to give in order to come out on top against a team like this. And we're looking forward to the challenge.
And finally, Coach, what are your keys to a win tonight versus the St. Thomas More Cavaliers?
They like to create turnovers to fuel their offense. So transition defense is going to be very, very key for us tonight, as well as taking care of the ball. You know, they bring a lot of ball pressure. They're physical. They force you out of actions that you want to do. So we have to have poise with that ball pressure and that physicality. So transition defense, taking care of the basketball, and then holding them to one shot of possession. They got, you know, a lot of length on their team, not like huge size, but athletic length that can get a lot of second chance opportunities for them on the offensive glass. So we got to try to cut that down and hold them to one shot of possession. And if we do those three things, I like our chances.
Well, Coach, that's all I got. Thank you for joining us with our Jake's Collision Repair countdown to tip-off, and good luck in tonight's matchup.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
As that was head coach of the Spearfish Spartans, head coach Ben Schultz, and we will continue with more of our Jake's Collision Repair countdown.
And welcome back to the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth tonight as we get set for some high school hoops. The second game of our doubleheader as the Spearfish Spartans host the St. Thomas More Cavaliers, and let's get it on. Your starting lineups for the Spartans is the usual, it looks like so far, as we see Bennett Corton along with Dylan Dorn. Also for the Spartans, Cameron Davis. And there will be number 23, Cade Vevruska, and number 25, Cooper Gibbs gets the start tonight as the big man in the middle. He has it right on cue, lays it up and in.
Yeah, that's Cooper Gibbs getting the start for the Spartans, and he's getting the bucket early. He's just been getting better and better throughout this season, getting the start versus a quicker, more athletic and lengthy St. Thomas More team, and that forces a turnover.
And just underway here is our Jake's Collision Repair countdown to tip-off, our pregame show and our in-between show from the girls' game to the boys' contest. The Spearfish girls won earlier tonight by the final score of 60-37, and we're getting ramped up here for the second game of our doubleheader here on KDSJ Sports, with the Spartans out to a 2-0 lead, getting that bucket by Cooper Gibbs. Again, one of the starters tonight, usually coming in off the bench, but he gets the start tonight. St. Thomas More starter from downtown is no good. That's Wyatt Gilton, misses his first opportunity.
Yeah, Wyatt Gilton shoots the ball very well for St. Thomas More. I see Cooper Gibbs on the other side with another floater. It's a 4-0 run for Spearfish, courtesy of Cooper Gibbs.
St. Thomas More Cavaliers coming into this game on a 3-game winning streak, 10-3 overall in the season, 4-1 in Black Hills Conference play. St. Thomas More, always good on defense. We'll see what they can get done on offense. Coming off with that win at Dakota Valley at the Henson Classic on Saturday. A matchup of two teams who are just outside the top 5 in Class A boys basketball. And an inadvised error there by St. Thomas More as they turn the ball over. The Spartans up 4-0 here in the first quarter.
Also want to give a welcome into our broadcast booth again with the boys game. Mr. Paul James are running the camera on KDSJ-TV as well. Paul, what do you think of this contest?
Well, here we go. It's going to be a lot of speed on speed, and you know St. Thomas More loves the 3, so we'll see if they can get going from outside. And Cooper Gibbs has already gotten going inside for Spearfish.
You just got to be aware, sometime tonight, I guarantee there will be a run by St. Thomas More. It could be 8-0, it could be 14-2, but they will have a big run, and you're going to have to survive that. They're yet to score as they're getting shut out right now, 4-0. Over to the right wing, now to the top of the key. 6 to go on the shot clock. Here comes St. Thomas More from downtown. 3-pointer, no good off the back iron, and it's rebounded underneath by St. Thomas More. Second chance opportunity, Speed with the bucket.
Yeah, there's just a lot of athletic length for St. Thomas More. They don't have overly big kids, but they have tall kids, and they can move, jump, and do about anything you want. So rebounding will be super important for Spearfish if they want to break this 9-game losing streak to St. Thomas More.
And Cameron Davis, 3-pointer, no good at the other end. St. Thomas More, athletic move underneath, is not going to fall there by Sales. At the other end, here's Dylan Dorn back outside to Corton. Corton gives it back to Dylan Dorn, and then it goes maybe right through the wickets of Cameron Davis, or just outside of his leg there. Goes out of bounds. Coach Hollenbeck and the St. Thomas More Cavaliers in the road blue uniforms tonight with the black numbers with white trim and white Cavaliers across the front. Here's a nice backdoor cut underneath, the layup and missed, and a good rebound and a boxed out there by Vevruska. He goes to Dylan Dorn, over to Bennett Corton. They haven't played since a week ago tonight when they won by 30. And trying to get through some illness. Here's Cooper Gibbs, hook shot, no good. Rebounded here by St. Thomas More as the Cavaliers go right to left on your radio dial on KDSJ-TV. This is going to be a carry and a foul, or a turnover there on the St. Thomas More Cavaliers.
Yeah, it was not good for Spearfish going into this past weekend. A lot of illnesses on the team. They were telling the kids, if you're sick, just stay home. There's enough people sick, so they wanted to put a stop to that, and they look to be full strength tonight.
Here is Corton, puts up the shot off the glass, and he kisses it in for 2. Bennett Corton has his first 2 points. Looking back at the performance from last week, Corton was held without a point, I believe, last week against Red Cloud.
Yeah, Bennett Corton, he's kind of been on a cold streak lately. As didn't have a point versus Red Cloud. He was held in check versus Harrisburg and especially versus Brandon Valley. As Spearfish, the entire offense has been somewhat helter-skelter these past few weeks. So it'll be interesting to see who gets hot for Spearfish, if they get hot. As the last time I shot around in this gym was versus Red Cloud, and even that start to that game offensively, it wasn't necessarily great.
St. Thomas More will get called for the 5-second violation. It's good inbounds defense there by the Spearfish Spartans. No press here for St. Thomas More. They're going to get back defensively, and we'll see what kind of half-court setup they do. Into the game is Mason Southern for the Spearfish Spartans. He brings it across the timeline as the point guard. Goes to Corton. He has a quick step in the lane. He's going to use his speed, but misses the layup. 6-2 Spartans with a 4-point advantage. 3:36 left to play here, opening frame.
So yeah, we'll see what St. Thomas More does. They keep wanting to go inside the lane, and that's where they do with a layup that time by Wyatt Gilton. Buzzy Gilton, I guess, is what they call him over there at St. Thomas More. That little stat brought to you by our colleague, Mr. Mike Fell.
Okay.
Just wondering where you got that little...
It was not
that
original.
Little nugget.
And here is going to be Doran getting hit as he goes down to the floor, slides in to the pad right underneath our microphone over there. And he'll get a 2-shot foul here.
Doran was one of the few ball players that head coach Ben Schultz was questioning if he was going to be available for tonight. He's been one dealing with the illness. Him and Cade Vavruska were both coming into this game questionable. I don't believe they even went to school yesterday. So.
That's possible. I know there was people out, and
with that illness, you got to think their energy is probably not 100%. So they're going to probably use more of the bench tonight for Spearfish with some of those guys that may be ill and don't have quite the stamina tonight. Here's St. Thomas More with it. They hand it off. Here's the jump shot for the baseline. That's going to be no good. But Dylan Doran, he gets the defensive rebound, and then a foul, a push from behind on St. Thomas More.
Early on, the Spartans seemed to be ready, seemed to be putting some bodies on guys and playing tough.
Yeah, Dylan Doran, we've seen him in football. If a bad ankle can't stop Dylan Doran from being out of competition, I don't think an illness will either.
Now here is the pass from Davis down to Cooper Gibbs. Gibbs trying to get it back outside, but it's tipped away and out of bounds. Bo Garcia, one of our officials tonight. Joe Beeler, the Hot Springs Hall of Famer. He's on the far side right next to Coach Hollenbeck as one of the other officials tonight as they stop this right now, but they get it in as they have the inbounds pass underneath of us here on the near baseline. Here's Corton inside to Gibbs. Nice pass to Dylan Doran.
Wow. Close range passing, seeing him streak to the hoop. Good give up there.
Absolutely 100% unselfish there. Cooper Gibbs gets in the book with an assist. Now down low, here's St. Thomas More. They get the shot not to fall. It goes just around the rim and out. 2:09 left to play first quarter. Spartans up by 6, 10-4.
Yeah, St. Thomas More setting some picks along the baseline, trying to get the mismatch as Spearfish trying to switch on defense. But right there was a mismatch as Mason Southern guarding the post. Really what you not want on defense, but Spearfish lucky to have that missed layup and getting the turnover.
There's St. Thomas More defense, man-to-man D, as Cameron Davis misses the three-pointer. Here comes the Cavaliers. They have a little bit of transition, and they lay it up and in for 2 points. Number 34 gets the points there for St. Thomas More. Slosarki, you can pronounce that for me, buddy.
Slarsky.
Okay, thanks.
The Blue Baron is also what they call him over there in St. Thomas More, courtesy of Mike Felton, as we got a steal from St. Thomas More, laying it up in good with the layup, and that is Broden Sales, sailing through the atmosphere and getting St. Thomas More back to within 2 points.
I was wondering who Slosarski was because, yes, I heard the Blue Baron that game against Rapid City Christian, I think was last week over at South Dakota School of Mines, and he's wearing the blue uniform. 10-8, Spearfish up by 2.
Tucker Olson coming in for Mason Southern. So Spearfish again going to their bench early in the contest, again with that sickness. But Spearfish got off to a 10-4 lead. Now it's 10-8. As St. Thomas More trying to get on the inside on Tucker Olson, and the hook shot right there is good. And we got a tie ball game from Broden Sales.
And the Spartans, the last couple times down the floor committing turnovers, got to get better care of the ball.
So Sales, Cha-ching, it's tied up at 10. Under a minute left to go here, first quarter. Spearfish with the ball as they go left to right. Now into the half-court set. Another nice pass underneath Cameron Davis. Pump faces defender, puts it up, no good as it was off the glass. Cameron has struggled early on. He led the team in scoring last week with 13 points against Red Cloud. St. Thomas More could take the first lead for them of the game here as Gilton with the basketball. No shot clock, so 20 seconds left to play here, first quarter. Fast-moving frame as we had a short pregame, and in between these two teams, wasted no time getting on the floor. Here's 8 seconds, down to 7. St. Thomas More puts up the shot. It's blocked by Dylan Dorn. Here is Corton. Corton with 2, with 1. Three-pointer, no good. A good look there by the Spearfish Spartans on that three-pointer, but unable to connect. 10-10 tie at the end of the first quarter. You're listening to High School Hoops here on KDSJ 980, 103.5, KDSJ980.com, and also with KDSJ-TV.
You see them everywhere. That's because Heinzerling Concrete of Spearfish is the most trusted name for everything from driveways, sidewalks, decorative stamp patios, and of course, foundations. Heinzerling Concrete is proud to support the activities that help our area youth build their foundation for future success. Whatever the job, Heinzerling Concrete is the name you can trust. Google Heinzerling Concrete in Spearfish or call 210-2320.
Beef Logic, Inc. is proud to sponsor South Dakota's high school and collegiate athletes this season as they work alongside their partners at the South Dakota Beef Industry Council to deliver the Build Your Base sports nutrition program at local high schools and colleges around the state and the country. Are you looking for a simple, easy-to-follow program that can help you and your family optimize performance both on and off the field of play? Check out buildyourbase.org and learn why beef continues to be the premier protein for athletic performance and recovery.
And welcome back here to the Monuments Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth. I'm Cody Oliver, along with the rest of our KDSJ Sports crew, as we have Clayson Davis and Paul James here tonight over at KDSJ-TV.
Good defensive stand there for Spearfish, causing the travel right off the quarter timeout.
Spearfish with it. Here's Corton, gets a double screen. Now comes over to Davis, back over to Corton. Nice ball movement here. We'll see how St. Thomas More does defending it in the man-to-man. Bounce pass goes to Cooper Gibbs. He backs down, goes back outside. Everybody's touching it. 13 to go on the shot clock. Those nice crisp passes. They get it inside to Cooper Gibbs. And they kind of tried to lull St. Thomas More to sleep there, but then a quick pass into Gibbs, and he was fouled.
One thing I'm impressed with Spearfish, they're quick passing, hard passing, close together, and they're ready for it.
Yeah, Cooper Gibbs, he's going to be big in this matchup, getting his first start of the season as he misses the first free throw. But tall, physical kid. He's just been getting better and better throughout the year, and getting his first start, he's able to kind of keep up with the speed of this tall athleticism from STM. And Gibbs, he leads, is actually tied for the lead in scoring right now for the Spartans.
And when he gets the ball initially, he doesn't look to score, but it's that sometimes second and third touches that he gets on a long possession that he might have to dig in deep and get the bucket to go. So Cooper Gibbs now with 5 points as he makes 1 out of 2 at the free throw line. Here comes St. Thomas More, and they will walk with it. Kumbaya is the motion by the officials. 11-10, Spartans with a 1-point lead. We were tied at the end of the first quarter, 10-10. 7-10 left to play here in the second quarter. Jump shot baseline, no good by Southern. Hustle with it was Cooper Gibbs to get the board. Back down to Gibbs, that's his first touch, and he looks to score this time. That one was off the mark. Rebounded by St. Thomas More. You got to get back on D. And St. Thomas More on the attack. Put up the shot, no good. Dylan Doran in there with the rebound. He doesn't have the numbers, and he almost doesn't have the basketball. Outside here's Corton over to Southern. Now kick it back outside. There's our first three-pointer of the night. It's from Cade Vavruska.
Yeah, Cade Vavruska, he's also been known to, when he gets hot, he can be hard to stop as he gets his first tray. I believe it's the first three-pointer of the game. And meanwhile, on the other side, another mismatch with Mason Southern going up against Wyatt Gilton, as you have 5'8" on 6'4". Not quite the matchup you want for the Spartans.
Advantage, big man there. There is Doran. Not looking to score much in this game so far. Here's the jump shot by Southern. His is off the rim, no good. Defensive rebound by St. Thomas More. They could tie it or take the lead here in the first couple minutes of the second frame. Three-pointer for the lead is no good. Offensive rebound by St. Thomas More. They go back up with it. It's a hoop and a harm. Gilton with his 6th point, trying to add to it at the charity stripe.
Yeah, Gilton is just matched up on Mason Southern. There's not a lot Mason Southern can do. It's a mismatch underneath the basket. As St. Thomas More recognizes that matchup, they're putting Gilton underneath the basket and just letting him do work on the smaller sophomore guard.
Tucker Olson comes in. Is he one of those glue guys that can do a little bit of everything?
He can, and I believe he will be tasked with taking on Gilton.
Free throw is no good, so no three-point play. Spearfish gets the play call from head coach Ben Schultz as Bennett Corton runs the point along with Dylan Doran out there. Here's Vavruska. Vavruska passes it back over to Doran. Good tight defense here by St. Thomas More. Here's the open lane for Corton. He takes a baseline and he scores.
Corton says, hey, I can jump up there and lay this thing in. Don't test me.
As Spearfish, that's what they normally do when they're starting to struggle to shoot. They'll just try to get it going off the glass. And Gilton got the ball inside again. He wanted to look for a cutter, and that was a cutting Blue Baron that the ball did not get to. So another turnover for STM.
Good no-look defense there by Spearfish, seeing the cutting person and getting the hand in the path of the pass.
Now here is Spearfish at their end of the floor. It is Vavruska going up, and he'll be fouled. Coach Schultz talked about it in the pregame show how Spearfish had a chance to win the game last year, let it slip away. The game went into overtime, and they lost over in Rapid City. The matchup between these two teams, 55-52. Your final score from a year ago in OT. So we might be in for another good one tonight, but if Spearfish can't make their free throws, it might not be close. Vavruska misses the first.
Yeah, and free throws is what kind of plagued Spearfish in last year's contest when they let that one slip away from STM. Again, a 9-game losing streak for Spearfish versus St. Thomas More, looking to break it here tonight.
Free throw is good from Vavruska. So he makes 1 out of 2. 17-14, Spartans still with a 3-point lead. Dribbling it is Paulson. Paulson tries to cross over, gets into the lane, misses the layup, put back up and good by number 34. That would be the Blue Baron, Slosarski. I'm going to struggle with that.
I understand why they call him the Blue Baron. It's easier to pronounce.
We're just going to go with Blue Baron, I think, from here on out.
Courtesy of Mike Fell from our sister station in Rapid, KOTA.
Now with it, it is Cade Vavruska. 8 seconds left to go, down to 7. Here's Corton. Ooh, he should have put it up. Now he does, but it's off the mark. And rebounded here by St. Thomas More. They can see some things in transition here, but Spearfish gets on back on D. Three-pointer is good by Duffy. Yes, there's still a Duffy around for St. Thomas More. He hits the three-pointer that time, and the Cavaliers take the lead 19-17.
St. Thomas More's first lead, and if they can start shooting it from the outside, it could be bad news for Spearfish As Spearfish has kind of had a lid on their basket. They haven't had anything to hit ever since that Cade Vavruska three-pointer. And there it is, another jumper that just falls off the iron. And there's that lid that stays on the top of the basket. And as we have a rebound and a bucket underneath. Right now, St. Thomas More out hustling Spearfish, and that's enough for Ben Schultz to call a timeout.
Good job by Sales there to see that shot, the three-pointer, was going to be short. He boxed out, positioned himself, got the ball pretty much right to him, and he put it up and in for two as the Cavaliers take their largest lead now 21-17 with 3:20 left to play in the second quarter. As we send it over to Clayson Davis with a look at tonight's Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard. I'll tell you first that the Spearfish girls won earlier tonight 60-37 in the first game of our Black Hills Conference doubleheader.
And look at the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard. Hill City taking on Sturgis. Hill City leading the Scoopers by 1 at halftime, 30-29. Just tipped off with Rapid City Christian taking on Custer. A really good contest in Region 8A tonight in Class A basketball. Number 1 Sioux Falls Lincoln proving why they're the number 1 team in the state, beating number 5 Washington 80-35. It's Pierre over Aberdeen 62-51. Number 2 Brandon Valley over Marshall, Minnesota 65-60. Huron over Watertown 64-51. Mitchell over Roosevelt 42-38. Harrisburg over Brookings 50-41. Number 1 Sioux Falls Christians beats Class AAT area 49-35 and a partridge in a pear tree.
Thanks, buddy. Here's Dylan Doran. Double D gets his shot blocked, and here comes the Cavaliers on a little bit of a run here. Pretty good run here in the second quarter, outscoring Spearfish 11-7. Now here's St. Thomas More in the paint, putting up the shot, and it is good as it goes right to the hole. They're not messing around with three-point shots much. They're taking it to the paint. Gilton has 8 points. Here's one of those runs that St. Thomas More is on, and you just kind of get through it and come right back with some punches. Almost a double dribble. St. Thomas More gets the steal. Another turnover on Spearfish this second quarter. Spearfish has not been playing well at both ends as a layup is good by St. Thomas More. And again, they're just attacking the rim.
Looks like Spearfish now all of a sudden has lost the ability to give and go, make those tight passes, make those crisp cuts. They've kind of gone flat.
St. Thomas More just a step ahead of Spearfish at both ends of the floor, especially with the attacks on offense. And now a couple of subs coming in here for Spearfish. I see Tucker Olson checks out.
Cooper Gibbs and Mason Southern comes into the game. Again, just that tall length from St. Thomas More. As you look down the roster, 6'4", 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", 6'2", and then a few more under that 6'5" to 6'3" range as Southern eventually gets the ball back to him after it was eventually deflected. And then can Spearfish get anything going on offense?
Very athletic offense and defense for St. Thomas More. Here's the backdoor cut. Bennett Corton takes it right at him. Corton with the bucket, as you can hear from the Spartan fans. Corton with 6 points. Those two were hard fought.
Yeah, Bennett Corton thought him also might have had a foul there underneath as well, as he hit the deck pretty hard after that attempted block. But let's see if Spearfish can use that momentum defensively.
There's the block by Cooper Gibbs. The ball goes out of bounds. They save it to the Spearfish Spartans. Now Dylan Doran. Doran goes up with it, partially blocked. Put back by Gibbs, and a foul called on St. Thomas More. Cooper Gibbs with a couple of field goals. He's made a free throw. He got the block at the other end, and now he's working in the paint to try to go to the line for two.
He seems to be the guy that's got it inside tonight, and Doran might be struggling a little bit. Who knows with having the sickness, just not quite looking himself there. Looks a little bit flat, and some of the guys kind of standing around on the offense as well. But Gibbs he's kind of been your workhorse down low, and he's got another shot from the line.
And his second free throw is no good. Haven't seen Ashar Hanges yet, another big man for the Spearfish Spartans. He's on the bench right now as Spearfish gets back defensively. There's a tipped ball, but goes back to St. Thomas More. 1:03 left to play here in the second quarter. Cavaliers have built up a 6-point lead here in the second quarter. Now they're using some of that clock. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Don't be paying attention to the crowd in the background because they're, of course, wanting St. Thomas More to shoot it before the actual shot clock goes off. They still had about 6 seconds left when they did lose the ball. Now here's Cameron Davis. Let's go Cameron as they get it off to Bennett Corton. Corton with a nice move but didn't shoot. Now Dylan Doran back over to Davis. Davis to Southern for 3, short.
Whoop.
And that will be landing right in between the rim and the backboard, and that is called a basketball wedgie.
It is also a jump ball.
I prefer the basketball wedgie term.
That is more colorful.
It is quite more colorful.
26.3 seconds, so they stop the clock. It is a, in other words, just a jump ball, so the possession arrow does stay with the Spartans. They don't actually jump ball it. They'll just go with the arrow, and that points to the Spartans. They'll feed it into Dylan Dorn. Now to Davis. No shot clock here. Under 20 seconds left. First half. Here's Mason Southern. He's got to do something with it or else he'd get called for the 5 seconds. Now goes over to Corton. Down to 5 seconds, down to 4. Corton loses the ball. Taken away by the Cavaliers at the buzzer. They bank in a three-pointer from half court. That is Duffy with a three-pointer. Catch that on the Tropical Smoothie Cafe replay on KDSJ-TV.
Yeah, just the ball stolen away from Bennett Corton, and then the banks open on a Tuesday after Duffy just getting the nice roll off the glass, high arcing shot, and able to bounce it off the glass and into the bucket. And Spearfish had a chance to take some momentum in the halftime, and it went away in a hurry with that buzzer beater from half court from St. Thomas More.
Now it was 25-19. Spearfish had the ball in the paint underneath their own hoop. Could have been, well, okay, we'll see. Maybe they get 2 points out of it, make it 25-21 at halftime, but instead it's 28-19.
Yep, big swing there. You just got to take care of the ball. The Spartans, I think of the one thing they want to clean up, and I'm sure what head coach Ben Schultz will say at halftime, we have got to take care of the ball better, whether it's our passes or just simply ball handling, and be a little more crisp, be awake, be ready to go in the second half.
Big halftime banked in three-pointer. It gives me the heebie-jeebies because last night, we'll just say Iowa State was close to being on the money line, and Arizona hit a farther distant than half-court three-pointer to set it into overtime, and then Iowa State didn't show up at overtime. But I'll be done with that conversation, and we'll come back in 2 minutes right here on KDSJ Sports.
You've lived here for years, or if you're new to town, everyone wants to know the best place to buy a quality pre-owned car, truck, and SUV, or where to go to have your current ride kept in shape. Brandon Kemp here from Superior Auto Solutions in Spearfish. Need new tires? We got them, all major brands. Your brakes squeaking, or do you just hear something that's not quite right? We can help. Or maybe you're looking to upgrade to something a little more suitable. Well, you came to the right place. Superior Auto Solutions on Colorado Boulevard in Spearfish, or find us online at superiorautost.com.
Make eating better, easy with Tropical Smoothie Cafe in Spearfish. Just because you're in a hurry doesn't mean you can't eat better. Made-to-order smoothies, wraps, sandwiches, and flatbreads that instantly boost your mood, all with delivery available. Plus, check out all the different flavors of smoothie bowls, salads, and even breakfast items. Located off I-90, exit 14 on Platinum Drive, just down the hill from the Holiday Inn. Eat well, live well at Tropical Smoothie Cafe in Spearfish.
Quality food at a fair price. That's what you expect, and that's what you'll get at the Millstone Family Restaurant in Spearfish. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or to grab a bite to eat before or after the game. Choose from daily specials, and a trip to the fresh soup and salad bar is always a hit. Plus, the Millstone can accommodate larger groups, like buses or your next meeting in their private party room. So, if it's just you and a friend or the whole team, get a great meal at a great price. The Millstone Family Restaurant in Spearfish.
American Colloid, a minerals technologies company, is not only part of the community we live in, they are the community. Bentonite clay, mined right here in our own backyard near Belfouche in Colony, Wyoming, provides a contributing factor to this area's economic success. This unique product has a huge range of uses, from the main component in cat litter to health and beauty products, pharmaceuticals, and more. It's all produced right here in all of our community. American Colloid Company, working together, winning together.
For over 10 years, Allied Construction has been a trusted name in the Black Hills, providing top quality construction services to our local community. We take pride in being a local business with deep roots in the area. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, you can trust us to deliver exceptional results on every project. Our team is dedicated to providing personalized service, ensuring your project gets the attention and expertise it deserves.
Check out their website today. Click alliedconstruction.com or find them on Facebook.
And Sports Medicine broadcast booth on this Tuesday night. High school hoops, it's our second game of a Black Hills Conference doubleheader, as we're in the midst of halftime right now of the Spearfish Boys contest. And right now, St. Thomas More leading at 28-19. It was tied up at 10 points at the end of the first quarter, but then St. Thomas More outscored Spearfish 18-9. They doubled them up in that second quarter, including a banked-in three-pointer from half court. Instead of being 25-19, and actually we were talking about could possibly be 25-21 because Spearfish had the ball right underneath the hoop before they lost it. So 28-19, there's one of those runs that we warned you about from the Cavaliers, and they're looking for another win here on the road. The Blue Baron has played well. Sales has played well for St. Thomas More, and just inconsistent for Spearfish right now on offense as they trail by 9. Here's Clayson Davis from KDSJ-TV with more of our first half recap.
Yeah, thank you, Cody. That first half, it was back and forth by both teams. Spearfish got off to a 10-4 run, and that's when the faucet shut off for Spearfish offensively as St. Thomas More ended with a 6-0 run, making it 10-10 at the end of the first quarter. Then the second quarter, it was all St. Thomas More as Wyatt Gilton, the junior forward at 6'4", he was able to get going on a few mismatches from Spearfish. He was lined up on Mason Southern, and it was able to take advantage of that mismatch, and also getting some work done on Tucker Olson, as he's more of your point guard, but is doing most of the work down low underneath. And Gilton, he's been a problem for Spearfish, as he has 8 points that I believe leads all scorers in the contest. Meanwhile, St. Thomas More dominating the paint and just getting a lot of turnovers on offense. Spearfish not really able to do what they want to do on the offensive side. They haven't moved the ball quite as well anymore, and it's just been overall pretty rough for the Spartans to get anything going on offense other than Cooper Gibbs, as he got the scoring early for Spearfish. Gibbs has got 5 points, as Bennett Corton's got 6, but aside from those two, Dylan Doran's only got 4 points, and Spearfish on the entire half has got 19. Had a chance to get another last-second shot by Bennett Corton that he eventually turns the ball over, and then Deacon Duffy right there at the buzzer, making a half-court shot off the bank at the buzzer to give STM a 9-point lead at 28-19 at halftime.
And let's have a look at your first half stats of this one, unofficial stats, as the St. Thomas More Cavaliers going for their 11th win of the season. Spearfish 7-2 on the season. This is their 10th game of the year, and they're down by 9 at halftime, 28-19. St. Thomas More with 6 guys into the scoring column. Nobody in double figures, but getting there closely is Gilton with 8 points. And then there is 6 points from Duffy, 6 points from Sales. 4 points from the Blue Baron, 2 points from Speed, and 2 points from Paulson. That's your scoring for the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. They hit 2 3-pointers, both of them by Duffy. And both of them, well, one of them came at the buzzer of that first half from half court. And for the Spearfish Spartans, they have 4 guys into the scoring column. 6 points from Bennett Corton. 5 points from Gibbs. 4 points from Dylan Dorn. 4 points from Cade Vavruska, as the Spartans hit 1 3-pointer in the first half. That was by Vavruska, and 4 free throws made by the Spartans. Paul James down at the court side with the head coach of the Spearfish Lady Spartans. Here's Dakota Berry Johnson.
Wow, came out of the gates fast on that one.
Oh, absolutely. The lid was off. They were feeling it. They were getting it to the hot hands, and we had a lot of hot hands tonight.
Well, that's for sure. 5 girls, I think, is what it was with 3-pointers tonight, hitting from the outside.
Absolutely. We're going to be really hard to beat if we have that kind of balance, so couldn't be more proud of these gals.
In your defense, it looked to have St. Thomas More somewhat hesitant or kind of thinking about what they were doing a little more than usual.
Absolutely. We took them out of their sets, gave them a lot of pressure, created a lot of our offense off of the turnovers we created. So just really great sense of urgency and just dictating how that game went tonight.
Great win. Good job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Back to you guys.
Spartans head coach Dakota Johnson with Paul James down there courtside. Spearfish picks up their 6th win of the season as the girls went to 6-4, 3-2 in the Black Hills Conference. Again, 60-37. Spearfish Lady Spartans with the victory on the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard from earlier tonight. Halftime here, Cavaliers lead the Spearfish boys 28-18. We'll be back in this 30-second timeout to get you going for the second half right here on KDSJ Sports.
You just got a quote from a company and are now being billed for not choosing them. Many contracts have what's referred to as a contingency agreement. These typically state that if you don't go with them, you, after insurance has approved the repair work, will be charged a percentage of the job they quoted. Ask up front if they charge to provide an estimate. Never sign anything that you haven't fully read or understand. If you have any questions, reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
And back here at the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth, Tuesday Night Hoops, Black Hills Conference doubleheader tonight, as we want to say thanks to some more of our sponsors, including Jake's Collision Repair with a location right here in Spearfish off of East Colorado Boulevard. They're at 4415. They also have a location in Sturgis just off of Junction Avenue. Thanks to Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Heiserling Concrete, Beef Logic, and the South Dakota Beef Industry Council, as we are getting going here into the second half. St. Thomas More up by 9. A quick halftime break, and we're back at it. Cavaliers with it first.
Then we'll see if Spearfish can get some stops on defense, as right now St. Thomas More has just been bullying Spearfish inside as a high jumper converts for St. Thomas More. Ashton Paulson getting the bucket for STM, and that extends the lead now to 30-19.
And that can really wear you down the way St. Thomas More is taking it to you in the paint. Spearfish is going to have to rely on those 3-pointers to go in here in the second half. They've only had 1 3 so far. That was from Vavruska. Here's the block by Dylan Dorn, and they're going to call him for the foul as he sent Paulson to the floor. We are too far away from it, but maybe the zoom in on KDSJ-TV could see it, but probably a foul.
Yeah, I'd say it was a little too much on the body, too. It wasn't quite all ball. If Paulson kept floating in the air and the ball was stripped from him, it might not have been called. But either way, foul on Dylan Dorn, just his first. But right now, STM picking up where they left off on the offensive side.
And the second free throw coming up here for Paulson. He's at the line, and it's up and good for Paulson as he now has 5 points as the Spearfish Spartans with the ball back. Speaking of back, Paul James is back up here with KDSJ-TV after interviewing Coach Dakota Berry Johnson and the head coach of the Spearfish girls. He's back up here running camera number 3, I believe.
Yeah, I'm sweating too.
Here's Dylan Dorn for 3, no good, as he's been held to just 4 points so far in this game. Yeah, he's got to get back defensively and try to stay out of trouble, foul trouble in this game. Here's Cameron Davis, scoreless so far, puts it up and in for 2. Cameron Davis had 13 points a week ago at home against Red Cloud. He gets in the scorebook there with that layup.
Spartans desperately needed something there on offense.
Now we'll see if maybe they can get a pep in their step defensively. As we see with the ball, top of the key, Here is St. Thomas More on offense. It's Paulson, three-pointer. Three is up and no good.
I would say they're taking a page out of the Spartans girls book from earlier. They're in no hurry to shoot, no hurry to rush their defense. They're burning up that shot clock. That time, though, Spartans get a stop.
Then a quick foul. That looks to be on the Blue Baron, so he'll take a seat. Again, those who are just joining us, the Blue Baron, that's Baron Slarski. And I figured our friend and colleague Mike Fell over with KRTA Radio, he does a lot of St. Thomas More games, gave us that nickname to use, so we're using it tonight, even though we won't take credit for it.
And underneath, Cooper Gibbs loses the basketball. And now it is St. Thomas More coming across the timeline. And all the years I've been doing games at St. Thomas More, it's always them in the 40s with how they score the basketball. They grind it out defensively, and you're going to earn some points. Spearfish right now with only 21, down by 10. You got to hit some threes here in the second half, or we could have a blowout. Here's Dylan Doran. Spins in the lane, gets rid of it, goes to Cameron Davis. His three, no good. Rebounded, Doran over to Vavruska for three, right in front of the bench. His three, no good. Rebounded by Dylan Doran. Over to Cooper Gibbs. He drives in, and a blocking foul called on St. Thomas More.
I could see that one. I was wondering if the referee would be lured into calling that a offensive foul. It was a little bit of an overacting job, a little too much.
So to the free throw line goes Cooper Gibbs. He has earned his minutes tonight, getting the start for Spearfish, and he hits the first free throw. So now I have Gibbs for 6 points on 2 field goals, a couple of free throws made. I know he's got a block, and he's working against a couple of tall guys for St. Thomas More.
Yeah, he's got his work cut out for him down there. All the Spartans do. And just got to clean it up a little bit here. You don't have to start cranking three-pointers. You can go close. You can work at it, get some good high percentage shots, and try to dig into the lead that St. Thomas More has built.
That's Coach Paul James, 31-22. Spartans down by 9. Under 5 minutes left to go here, third quarter. And there, just on cue, is the steal by Spearfish. Trying to chip away. Here's the pass from Doran into Cameron Davis. Davis has his second field goal of this second half. And the Spartans down by 7.
Do not panic.
What does Aaron Rodgers say? Just relax.
Relax.
He says a lot of things. I was wondering where you were going with that.
That's one of the more sane things he says.
Fadeaway jumper is good by Gilted. He now has double-digit points with 10. And here's Mason Southern, one of the main guys off the bench for Spearfish. They don't go very deep. Hodges hasn't even played tonight. And here is Cooper Gibbs. I didn't think he would shoot the three, but he drives in. No foul there.
And then a block.
The away from the ball official will call this one. Again, it was 50-50. Is it going to charge? Is it going to be a block? They waited for the shot to go, and then one of the officials, we'll say his name, Bo Garcia, with the call there, as he talks to one of the St. Thomas More Cavaliers and tells him, hey, if you're going to plant your feet, you better have them planted like in a garden, because Cooper Gibbs did that just to you a couple moments ago. You better be ready.
Now, maybe that would have been one there they could have sold a little more, maybe a little more acting, and that one would have paid off.
Gibbs at the free throw line, and he's turned into a pretty good free throw shooter. Let's see, I think he's up to, I can't count very well.
I believe.
8 points.
And you make fun of me for my counting.
Well, I do.
I didn't know how many he had either, so that's why I asked.
And at the other end, a foul on Spearfish. This is going to be holding on to the wrist. A holding foul called on Spearfish. That is their second team foul. The third on Dylan Doran. St. Thomas More will inbound it right underneath their own basket. Watch out for the big guy. They get it into him. He turns around, puts up the shot, no good. Well, Spearfish here going on a little bit of a run as they're within 7. You'd like to see a three-pointer get drained here, so Spearfish builds up some confidence from behind the arc. So far, just one three-pointer has gone in. St. Thomas More has made 2, one from half court on a buzzer beater. Davis will get called for the charge.
Yeah, he was completely out of control on that one. Didn't look. I thought they were actually going to get him with travel. That's what I actually thought.
It's hard to plant your feet when you're getting pretty much pushed back due to offensive player flying into your chest.
Yeah, he was pretty out of control there.
So Cameron Davis gets called for the offensive foul. That's his second personal, third team foul. St. Thomas More with it. The Cavaliers look to go in the corner. Nothing going there. They'll get it outside. Three-pointer, that's left short. Battle for the rebound. It's all blue. St. Thomas More gets the rebound. Coach Hollenbeck says, let's use some clock. And a reach-in foul. Spearfish not moving their feet. And third foul called here on Spearfish within probably the last minute of game time.
Cooper Gibbs.
Be his first foul. Team fourth. So next foul for Spearfish will lead into some points.
St. Thomas More runs it down in the backcourt. Then a steal by Davis. Davis tries to dunk it and he missed. That would have been a posterizing dunk there by Davis, but unable to flush it.
Yeah, that was highlight reel there, but
could have add that to the KDSJ-TV highlight vault. Here's a steal by Dylan Doran. He's getting after it.
There we go
Over
again.
to Southern. Southern lays it up, missed, but Doran's right there to put it back up and in. I think that was on purpose. Instead of the alley-oop, just kind of bang it off the backboard and let Doran tip it in. 5-point game, 33-28 on Jersey night here at the Spearfish High School. Number 91, Chicago Bulls, Dennis Rodman.
Rodman sighting.
Yes. Outside, three-pointer on the way. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Cooper Gibbs. Here comes the Spartans. I still think you need to hit a three to really get this place a rocket.
I'm going to disagree.
Here's Southern going over to Corton and will be fouled on the baseline.
See, I love that. I love that. Take it to them. They're so far out on you. Don't force a three-pointer. Make them sink in and then get yourself some wide open looks.
Plus, with seems like Spearfish, any sort of jump shot where they don't use the glass, they've really struggled to convert. So drive into the lane, get STM in some foul trouble, and use the glass.
You guys have never heard of Chicks Love the Long Ball? And the shot is up and no good. Loose ball. Corton has it back and puts it up and in from the paint, down low. You guys were right. Two more points for Corton.
I like those numbers down low. I just do.
33-30, maybe wearing down St. Thomas More a little bit here. And St. Thomas More offensively, not good passes. There's a steal by Corton as he does it at both ends of the floor. Now here is Cameron Gibbs and travel there.
Yep, that's, he's a little bit out of control going in there. I know he wants to make something happen, but he's getting in there a little bit out of control. The dish off after the drive and the kick out, or the dish off, has been working. You don't have to make it spectacular, just keep it basic.
With it on offense is St. Thomas More. Here's Paulson. Now back to the rim goes Sales. Sales, we got contact underneath, and we'll have a foul called on Spearfish. I believe this is going to be their fifth team foul of the quarter. So 2 free throws coming up here for Sales.
And that will be the first foul on Cade Vavruska. This game's starting to get a little chippy and a little physical down underneath.
Yep.
We've had a couple of offensive fouls, and like we said, this game going to get physical down there in the paint if both teams continue to go that way. Let's give credit to our officials. The law on the court tonight being brought to you by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Division of Consumer Protection. And the free throw missed. Rebounded by Cooper Gibbs. I have my early voting in, and I'm going to have a secret ballot. Nobody can see it, but it's Cooper Gibbs.
Cooper Gibbs.
Here is Spearfish over to Corton. Corton picks up his dribble inside to Gibbs, goes back outside to Vavruska. Spearfish has been in attack mode in the paint. Here's Cooper Gibbs, loses the ball. Back outside, 10 to go on the shot clock. Here's Davis over to Mason Southern. Southern dishes it off to Gibbs, and he scores!
If I had a nickel every single time we've called Southern to Gibbs on KDSJ Sports,
you'd be a millionaire.
I would be pretty rich at this point.
Again, Gibbs got it 2 or 3 times, and he didn't shoot it until about the third time he got the rock. And the soft touch inside Folks, we have a 1-point game, 33-32, as the Cavaliers will keep the basketball as it sails over into the bench. And 25.2 seconds left to play here in the third. It remains Cav basketball.
As St. Thomas More got off to a 5-0 run, and ever since that, it's been all Spearfish.
Now here comes the Cavaliers as they come across the timeline. The pass did go in the backcourt. You could do that. Down to 16 to go on the shot clock as they have plenty of time. Of course, the Spearfish student section is counting it down about 5 seconds ahead. Here's the layup by St. Thomas More, unfazed. They put it up, no good. Rebounded by Vavruska. Here's another three. Can they hit another one at the buzzer? No good. They did it at the end of the first half, and they had a good look there for the corner, but no good. So we will head to the fourth quarter. These two teams played in overtime last year. It's 33-32. Cavaliers by 1. We send it to the fourth quarter when we come back in 1 minute on KDSJ Sports.
Vehicles today are complicated and expensive. The professionals at Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Spearfish are here to guide you through everything automotive. From cars, trucks, and SUVs to parts and repairs, Junix takes the confusion out of automobile ownership. Enjoy the ride with Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Family owned since 1931 on West Jackson in Spearfish.
Whatever the weather, Wolf's Plumbing and Heating keeps you in the comfort zone with expert heating and air conditioning repair or replacement from American Standard Mitsubishi. For over 70 years, Wolf's Plumbing and Heating has delivered quality service to the Northern Hills and Northeast Wyoming. When you need timely, expert service for heating, cooling, or plumbing, call 605-642-5755 or search Wolf's Plumbing and Heating and stay in the comfort zone.
And back here to the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth. I'm Cody Oliver, along with the rest of the KDSJ Sports crew. Clayson Davis is here. Paul James is here. We'll even say Steve Ammerman is here. He'll be covering BHSU basketball coming up on Thursday night. Right now he's doing the game for our sister station at Riverfront Broadcasting over at KOTA.
He's the enemy tonight.
Doran just picked up his fourth foul. So Doran will check out of the game. He only has 6 points, but again, 4 fouls. You really don't want to lose him, as he's been your spark plug for the Spartans this season.
Here's the second free throw. It is up and rolls around and out for St. Thomas More. Rebound by Vavruska as the Spartans try to get it under control. Down by 2, 34-32, as we're early on in the fourth quarter. Spearfish with it. Here is Corton trying to wait for a screen. Now goes over to Southern. Southern back over to Corton. Dylan Doran on the bench right now for Spearfish. Here is Vavruska, almost traveled, but he'll draw the foul, and 2 free throws coming up.
He went with the left hand, went hard to the hoop, drew the foul. He had a shot at getting the shot to fall, but it didn't go. But now he gets awarded with 2 free throws.
And you got to make them for Spearfish. They have struggled from the free throw line tonight.
First for Vavruska is missed. So far, Spearfish has made 8 free throws. St. Thomas More has made 1.
Wow.
Actually 2. I'm the one that they just made. It's still a wow factor. Well,
Spartans.
Vavruska misses both free throws in a 2-point game, 34-32. 1 minute gone by here in the fourth.
Free throws is what plagued Spartans last year in this matchup. And right now it's starting to turn into a very similar occurrence.
Here is Paulson over to his teammate, and that is Wyatt Gilton draining the 3. So St. Thomas More gets back with some confidence on offense, up 37-32. Watch for St. Thomas More to crank it up on D here as well.
Yeah, 4-0 run to start for St. Thomas More. Favruska, 3 short, no good. And the board's being dominated again by St. Thomas More.
Here's the Cavaliers on the attack. They go outside. 3-pointer on the way by Paulson, no good. Rebounded by Favruska, and he gets called for the foul.
Oh, no.
And a technical.
That was right underneath one of our microphones. And I'm not sure if it was words that he said or he actually kind of moved the official over after that play. And again, we know there's going to be some contact and a lot of it in the next 6 minutes and 18 seconds. Who can keep their cool? Coach Hollenbeck is kind of surprised on the call as well. So free throws coming up here for Cameron Davis. There's 2 free throws. We'll see if he can make them. It's the front of the rim, the back of the rim, and off the mark. And now it's an illness that is going around. And I think they caught it at the free throw line. Yeah, at the free throw line again is Davis, and he makes the second free throw.
Spearfish, we'd be tied if not even the Spartans ahead if these free throws went more in favor of the Spartans, as now we got a 30-second timeout on the floor.
Now that technical foul will also count as a team foul on the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. So they're up to 3 team fouls, Spearfish with 1. That was also the 4th personal foul called on Max Speed for the St. Thomas More Cavaliers, as all 3 officials come to the same spot here on the court to talk about things and make sure that they're all on the same page, that they're calling things the way they should. With 6:18 left to play here in the 4th quarter. On the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard, the Cavaliers 37 and the Spartans 33.
Quite a game tonight. Game coming up, KDSJ-TV only on Thursday night.
Yeah, as the Spearfish Spartans will be in Rapid City for a Class AA matchup with the Cobblers of Rapid City Central.
I don't think the Cobbler girls have won a game yet this year, but don't overlook them. It's 2 AA teams. Here's Davis underneath. Tough position, puts it up, no good. And it's rebounded here by St. Thomas More, and a foul on Spearfish.
Yeah, I think on Cooper Gibbs on that one there, trying to make something happen on the rebound, and picks up the foul.
Quick thanks to some more of our sponsors, including Dana Dental Arts. Let our family care for your family. Wolf's Plumbing and Heating, they brought us our halftime show. And also thanks to Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram right here in beautiful Spearfish. Here's St. Thomas More on offense. The big guy down low trying to go up against Cooper Gibbs, and he doesn't get the shot to fall. Offensive rebound by the Cavaliers, and a foul from behind on Spearfish on the block. That'll be their 3rd team foul.
I believe on Tucker Olson, who's out there now.
That was Ashton Paulson, 6-foot guard for St. Thomas More, but right now the Cavaliers just getting the job done when it comes to rebounds, defense, and free throws. Some simple fundamentals that right now St. Thomas More has pretty much dominated this contest.
So 2nd free throw coming up. You can get a lot of wins by rebounding the basketball and making your free throws. 2nd free throw is up and good. So now Paulson has 7 points for St. Thomas More. Spearfish has it, top of the key. Southern over to Davis for 3. Yes!
There's your 3, Cody.
Cuts that deficit in half, 39-36. Cameron Davis just needed to see the ball go through the hoop. But you got to get back on defense as Spearfish goes to the man-to-man. And nice job by Paulson to get into the lane. His shot is missed. Rebound by nobody in particular. Taken away by Paulson, and a new 35-second shot clock. Open 3 is no good that time by Duffy. Another offensive rebound by St. Thomas More, and a foul called on Spearfish.
Dylan Doran picking that one up, and he's in disbelief of it.
That will be his 5th, and Dylan Doran, who you could just tell was kind of out of it tonight. He didn't want to shoot much. He did get a bunch of rebounds, but every time kicked it back out to somebody else. Dylan Doran fouls out with 6 points.
So that's a tough blow for Spearfish. Your leader, your senior leader, playing sick and playing a little beat up as well, but he'll now exit the game. Finished with 8 points, and now we'll see who steps up for Spearfish.
I think more minutes for Cade Vavruska as he's in the game now along with Southern, Gibbs, Davis, and Corton. Here's St. Thomas More. They go inside out. Back over to Paulson, running the point, being guarded there by Southern. There's a pick. Down to 15 on the shot clock. Don't need to rush it. St. Thomas More into the paint. Taken away by Bennett Corton. Corton up ahead, puts up the shot, no good. All Spartans in there trying to get the rebound, and they do. Here's Southern. He's going to go for running the offense here instead of taking a quick three when there was a St. Thomas More Cavalier right behind him. That would have been ill-advised. Here's Corton over to Vavruska. Tough physical D, a man on the floor. Spearfish keeps it going. 14 to go on the shot clock. We're halfway through the fourth quarter. Vavruska over to Corton. Corton in the paint, puts up the shot, got it.
Finally, that floater hits for Bennett Corton. Spearfish back to within 1, and timeout on the floor from St. Thomas More.
Coach Hollenbeck calls a timeout. We'll take it with him. We'll be back in 30 seconds tonight on KDSJ Sports.
It's not one, but 2 great locations in Spearfish to gas up and get what you need on the go. Exit 8 and Exit 14 Speedy Marts offer everything you need so you can get in and get out and get back on the road. Find your favorite snacks and a cold drink, or maybe something fresh from the kitchen or in the cold case. It's all homemade right here. And Exit 8 and Exit 14 offers top-tier fuels from Phillips 66, so you get the most from your transportation. Exit 8 and 14 Speedy Marts in Spearfish. Right off the road, right on the money.
I'm Cody Oliver back with you here at the Monument Health broadcast booth high atop the bleachers at the Spearfish High School gym here on this Tuesday night. The only high school games that we'll have here on the radio this week. We'll be back with college hoops again on Thursday night, and then on Saturday afternoon, college hoops from Spearfish. Here is St. Thomas More taking it to the hole, and they lay it up and in just like they did a lot in the second quarter. They able to get that bucket there by Gilton by just attacking into the paint. St. Thomas More only scored 5 points in the third quarter. Spearfish got into this game as they scored 13 points. Southern, as the Spartans down by 5. Here's Southern with the basketball, goes to his left. Now he picks up his dribble, back over to Davis. Davis feeds it into Gibbs. Gibbs turnaround shot, hook shot, no good there by Cooper Gibbs. But the kid has been playing great tonight. I'd say keep feeding it into him. And Spearfish gets back defensively. It's a man-to-man D as St. Thomas More goes with the back door. Loose ball on the floor, picked up by the Cavaliers. They're just wanting it more right now with 2:45 left to play in regulation. Now St. Thomas More goes to Paulson. He has the ball in his hands a lot. Under 10 to go on the shot clock. Finds his man over into the corner. Three-pointer no good, and Corton is there for the defensive board for Spearfish. Gets around the defense, goes off to Gibbs. Gibbs could have shot it, did not. Here's Davis. Oh, off the hands of Cooper Gibbs and out of bounds.
It was there.
Couple of times now in a row that Gibbs missed shot and then just off of his hands. We need a little pick-me-up for the young man. 2:15 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Spartans down by 3, 41-38 on the Junic scoreboard. And a timeout called by Coach Hollenbeck and the STM Cavaliers. We'll be back with more high school hoops tonight on KDSJ 980, 103.5, KDSJ980.com. And live tonight, you can watch it for free on KDSJ-TV.
Sand and Gravel of Spearfish supports community and school athletics. Plus, they support community development with services in and around the Black Hills. Fisher is an aggregate company headquartered in Spearfish with 2 local commercial quarries in Beulah and Newcastle, Wyoming. They sell all sizes of aggregates for commercial and individual projects from a pickup load to thousands of tons. Whatever you need, Fisher Sand and Gravel, proud supporter of all community, college, and high school athletics. Good luck to all teams and athletes competing in today's game.
For nearly 50 years, Lowe Roofing Incorporated has been the trusted name in commercial roofing across western South Dakota and eastern Wyoming. Family owned and operated since 1975, they bring quality craftsmanship and reliable service to every project, big or small. From repairs to new installations, Lowe Roofing Incorporated covers it all. Protect your business with the experts who care and products that last. Call 1-800-658-4543. Lowe Roofing Incorporated, building a legacy of trust, one roof at a time.
And back here at the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth, turning into another good game here in the second game of our doubleheader as the Spartan boys down by 3 points right now, 41-38. And they're just exchanging blows with the Cavaliers right now. But one of our big punchers, Dylan Doran, has fouled out of the game for Spearfish. So we'll see how the rest of the team keeps it together here. As the Cavs going to use that shot clock. Down to 7, down to 6 on the shot clock. 3-pointer on the way, no good by the Cavaliers, and it's all blue underneath to get the rebound. They go back up with it. It's missed. Another offensive rebound by the Cavaliers and a fresh 35.
You can certainly tell the leaping ability of Dylan Doran is not out there right now because the Cavs just having their way on the boards.
Now here is St. Thomas More behind the back dribble there by Gilton. Gets rid of it. Now goes over to Paulson. Paulson, nice ball handling skills as well. Spearfish down by 3, could be down by 5, but Cavaliers missed the layup, and then it'll go out of bounds, and they say Spearfish Spartan basketball.
Big stop by the Spartans as, again, multiple offensive rebounds by St. Thomas More could push this up to a 2-score lead, but it will stay with a lead of 3 right now for the Spartans.
Who wants a 3-pointer? This guy does, but an offensive foul called by the Spearfish Spartans as they try to get around a pick. And Cameron Davis was caught in the middle of it with an offensive foul.
Oh, the little things. That's one thing you just didn't need.
Now his 3rd personal. That is the 5th team foul, but since it was offensive, we will not be shooting double bonus free throws.
Correct.
Spearfish going to put on the press a little bit here as they have a minute left to go in regulation. Paulson with the basketball. Him and Gilton and Duffy have been big throughout the game. A lot of the Cavaliers have been big on the boards. And we're going to have a timeout called by the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. They do have 3 timeouts remaining, and they get a timeout here just before what could have been a turnover on St. Thomas More.
And boy, you could see Coach Hollenbeck going after his player there, Ashton Paulson. Thinking, man, you could have got an offense. You know that's where he was going with that.
And we have a little bit of time here. Let's head it on over to the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard. Clayson Davis with the latest.
And a quick look at our Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard as Sturgis beating Hill City in a close one tonight, 60-58. It was St. Mitchell beating Roosevelt 42-38. Pier over Aberdeen Central 62-51. Harrisburg over Brookings 50-41. That one was a little bit closer than I thought. Huron over Watertown 64-51. Number 1 Lincoln over Washington 80-35. Number 2 Brandon Valley over Marshall, Minnesota 65-60. Number 1 Sioux Falls Christian over T Area 80-51.
That's your Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard. Keep it right here for all those scores again in the postgame show as the St. Thomas More Cavaliers going to use some clock. They're up by 3, and they do have the possession arrow as well if there's a jump ball. They go into the bottom of the paint up against the Spartan defender. No good. Rebound, Gibbs.
Spartans got a chance here.
The Cavaliers, as I said before, they like these ugly games in the 40s. Here they are at 41. Spearfish at 38 for the tie. Yes!
Oh! And a double treble on STM at a tie ball game. We got the 3 from Cameron Davis. You got the double dribble by STM on the inbounds.
Guys, it's not just chicks that love the deep ball. It's everybody here at the Spearfish High School gym as we're tied up at 41. A good look by Cameron Davis right below us here, off of the wing, got the ball, and the long ball comes in at 41-41. Just the third three-pointer tonight for the Spearfish Spartans. Cameron Davis gets the big bucket with 16 seconds left to go. And right after that, St. Thomas More had the dribble on the far side and got caught up in a little bit of traffic on defense.
Yeah, they did, and they were trying to transition real quick, probably to catch Spearfish celebrating, and ended up committing the turnover. I thought right away maybe St. Thomas More would be like, timeout, let's get our deal set up, but they were trying to catch Spearfish maybe sleeping, and that worked against them.
41 all here in the fourth quarter. Last year's game went into overtime, a little bit more scoring than that game, as this one was tied up at 10 at the end of the first quarter. St. Thomas More had a 9-point lead at halftime, 28-19. They were up by 1 point after 3 quarters, 33-32, and now we find ourselves tied up at 41 apiece. If there's a jump ball, possession arrow goes to St. Thomas More. There's 2 timeouts left for each team.
Here we go.
Spearfish will get it as they inbound it to Davis, who just hit the big three-pointer, and then a kicked ball out of bounds. Wouldn't it be awesome if Cooper Gibbs got the game-winning bucket again?
Anything can happen. We're going to have another timeout. Yep.
We're going to take it with them. Hear from some of our sponsors making this game a great game possible. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
This year marks the 50th anniversary of Pillin Optical. Since 1974, Pillin has dedicated its business to serving the community with quality eye care at a great price. The inventory has grown, giving you the widest selection of frames while maintaining the best prices for your family eye care needs. Your family is special, and Pillin Optical wants you to enjoy every minute clearly with them. After all, at Pillin Optical, quality eye care and customer service is the most important thing next to your sight. Pillin Optical, family owned for 50 years, 409 Kansas City Street.
Do-it-yourself made easy with help from Proline Equipment Rentals in Belfouche. Whether you're a full-fledged contractor or just taking care of some jobs around your home, Proline has the equipment you need. Lifts
and
for any
job.
job.
The Spearfish High School gym as the Spartans were on their feet a little bit ago after Cameron Davis hit a three-pointer. Then it was St. Thomas More turning it over with a double dribble. And here's where we stand. 14 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter, tied up at 41. And let's see, Spearfish doesn't have any fouls to give. The Cavaliers have 1 foul to give. Spearfish will have it underneath their own basket.
Now timeout.
Coach Hollenbeck has been through this battle a time or two, so he's going to call a timeout defensively. Maybe just kind of looking to see what Spearfish had out there for their offensive set. Again, Dylan Doran is not able to come back in the game because he fouled out with just 6 points tonight. Let's see, there's 1 timeout left for St. Thomas More, 1 timeout left for Spearfish. Possession arrow still points to the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. Spearfish has been led in scoring tonight by Cameron Davis. After that three-pointer, he's up to 11 points, and then Bennett Corton has 10.
Spartans pretty balanced tonight, spreading it around. Nobody had the real hot hand ever really throughout this contest. Cameron was cold to begin with, real cold, and then has since heated up here in the second half.
You could go with anything here. An open three, a floater in the lane. I think the officials are probably going to swallow their whistles here in the final 14 seconds, but if there's something really hard on a foul, they'll probably call it. But I think it's going to get physical, boys.
I think you're right.
In 14 seconds with Spearfish right underneath the basket in a tied game.
Here we go.
Southern to throw it in to Cooper Gibbs. Gibbs back outside to Vevruska. Now to Corton. Inside, the pass is tipped. Taken away by St. Thomas More. 5 seconds left to go. They go coast to coast. Layup is good by Paulson. And the clock stops at 1.6 seconds left to play. Paulson got it done on defense, and that good dribble down the court made the layup as well.
Yeah, as I was about to say right before we went back to the action, for Spearfish, you can't force anything that's not there, and that's exactly what they did. They tried forcing it inside to Gibbs. Gibbs wasn't ready for it. It got knocked around, went straight to St. Thomas More. You get the layup on the other end, and with 1.6 seconds, you had a time to really take the momentum, take the game, and Spearfish, like we've seen earlier this season, just not really getting the look you need, like what we saw versus Harrisburg, not really having the execution.
You were in the driver's seat there. You did not, like you said, have to force it. Worst thing that happens there then, it goes to overtime. You don't want to give St. Thomas More a chance, an opportunity, and that's exactly what they got.
If you were going to shoot something, do it with 3 seconds left,
exactly.
not with 8 seconds.
Yeah, not with 8 or 10.
And they didn't even get a shot off as the pass to Cooper Gibbs. It was kind of he went out on top, and then he was going to go into the paint. They tried to force it in there, but there was 3 Cavaliers up there with their hands, knocking it down, goes into the hands of Paulson. He takes it the rest of the way for the 2 points, makes it 43-41 Cavs. They're going to put 2.3 seconds left on the clock. Spearfish with no timeouts left. And let's see where they're going to put the inbounds.
Pretty sure under the hoop. So, yeah, you got to go full court here.
Here's a Christian Leitner maybe style play as St. Thomas More has 1 timeout left. And Coach Schallenbeck, if he has timeouts, he's going to use them. And we're going to keep it right here. We can say thanks to more of our sponsors, including Granite Automotive, Fisher Sand and Gravel, Pillon Optical, and Powder River Energy. Next game for Spearfish will be on KDSJ-TV exclusively. Clayson, tell us more about that.
Yes, as we'll be in Rapid City with Rapid City Central hosting Spearfish in a Class AA doubleheader on the west side of the state. Girls to tip off at around 6 o'clock. Boys to start at around 7:30, and we'll have our Jake's Collision Repair countdown to tip off starting in about 5:40, 5:45-ish area on KDSJ-TV, exclusively on KDSJ-TV on YouTube, and also on our Facebook page at Black Hills Gold Hits KDSJ.
No subscription needed for that. It is free to watch on KDSJ-TV. Radio that night, we will be in Shadron with the BHSU at Shadron. So, length of the court they go, 2.3 seconds. I saw a buzzer beater from beyond half court last night. Here is the throw in by Southern.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. And now we got an inadvertent buzzer.
No time went off the clock. So 2.3 seconds. Neither team with any timeouts. Who's inbounding? That would be Southern. He looks to get it in, trying to find an open man. Here's Cameron Davis, half court for the win. No good. 43-41, the game-winning bucket by Paulson with the 2 seconds left to go is the difference in this one. Spearfish did fight back there in the third quarter, outscoring St. Thomas More 13-5. And Cameron Davis had a good look just inside half court here at the buzzer, but could not get it to fall. That would have won the game for the Spartans, but instead, St. Thomas More Cavaliers continue their dominance over the Spearfish Spartans as it ends in regulation. The Cavaliers 43, the Spartans 41. We'll be back with your post-game recap, also our stats, player of the game, the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard, all coming up in the post-game show right after this 2-minute timeout.
Scissor lifts, boom lifts, and man lifts, skid steers, trenchers, backhoes, and more. Step inside to find smaller tools for do-it-yourself projects like concrete work, painting, sewer repair, and more. Call 723-7677, click ProlineEquipmentRentals.com, or stop by off North Highway 85 in Belfouche today.
For over 20 years, there's been a better alternative for car repair in Spearfish and the Northern Black Hills. It's Auto Doctor, with their 2 ASC-certified mechanics who each have over 40 years of experience and their state-of-the-art facility. They'll treat your vehicle like it's theirs. From mechanical repairs, brakes, alignments, tires, AC work, and more, Auto Doctor also provides advanced diagnostics. From Audis to Volkswagens, if your car is ill, we're the pill. Auto Doctor off Exit 14 Heritage Drive, Spearfish.
The Goldust Casino invites you to try the new menu items now being offered at Maverick Steak and Cocktails. Watch the action as you dine inside the Goldust Casino with tables overlooking the gaming floor. Enjoy over 210 of the newest slot machines and table games in Deadwood. And use your club card for great discounts at the 2 hotels right in the middle of the action. Get reservations today by calling 605-559-1400 or visiting golddustdeadwood.com.
Are you looking to start your new year with a new career? Pipeline Plastics in Belle Fourche is hiring extrusion and grinder technicians for day and night shifts. If you like the idea of working 6 months and getting paid for the full year, go online to pipe.us/careers and apply now. No experience necessary. They offer competitive pay starting at $20 an hour, great benefits, and much more, including quarterly bonuses. Go online to pipe.us/careers or call 605-892-0500 to apply today. Again, that's pipe.us/careers.
No matter what life throws in your
Well, a couple teams that battled into overtime last year over in Rapid City. This time it ends in regulation. Spearfish had a couple of chances down the stretch. Cameron Davis three-pointer tied this baby up after Spearfish mounted that rally. But then St. Thomas More had the final answer in this boxing match that went back and forth as Paulson with the game winner with about 2 seconds left to go. And then Spearfish had a chance with a three-pointer just inside half court by Cameron Davis, no good. There's more to the story of this game. St. Thomas More wanted to keep this baby in the 40s, and they did, as the Cavaliers pick up another victory over Spearfish, 43-41, as we send it over to KDSJ-TV's Clayson Davis.
Yeah, looking at the recap of this game, Cody, like you said, it was a street fight from the start. Down low in the paint, it has been a battle the entire game. And at the start, it was a 10-4 run for Spearfish, and that's when the faucet turned off for Spearfish offensively. 6-0 run for St. Thomas More to make it a 10-10 tie at the end of the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, Wyatt Gilton, the 6'4", junior forward, got going. He had a few mismatches in the middle of the paint. I believe he led all scorers with 15 points on the night for St. Thomas More, as he got going on a few smaller guards for Spearfish. And then Spearfish, they went cold. They couldn't get any points to go. St. Thomas More, I believe, was up to like a 12 or 14 point run, and that really got STM up in the second quarter. It was a buzzer beater at the end of the first half by Duffy, and that put the score at 28-19.
How big is that buzzer beater going into halftime? 43-41 is your final.
Yeah, and also that and free throws. Missed free throws was a big one for Spearfish as well. As, again, we hit halftime with a 28-19 lead for STM. Then the third quarter, Gibbs, he had a big day for the Spartans. He had 10 points scoring for Spearfish on the night, but he was the big man on the inside who was dealing and taking most of the blows from STM all night. As he got going with Spearfish offensively in the third quarter. Short jumpers in the paint and just points in the paint in general by STM really started to push this game out midway through the third quarter, and that's when it started to turn the tides in favor of Spearfish, as their physicality, getting some steals for everyone, really started to get the momentum back to Spearfish. They actually ended on a 14-point run offensively to cut the lead down to 32-33 at the end of the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, I feel like that's an entire game itself. Just so much happened. It started off with a technical foul by St. Thomas More's Max Speed that shifted the momentum over to Spearfish, and then rebounds and second chance opportunities by STM. There were plenty of them, And that's what kept STM out in front of Spearfish for the most part. And it was physical. Man, it was physical underneath as both teams went at each other in the fourth quarter. Not a lot of fouls were called as both coaching staffs were animated. One to get calls their way, one to get players to execute, as two very competitive guys in Coach Hollenbeck and Coach Schultz from both of these teams. And then it was a Cameron Davis three-pointer. Tied the game up at 41 apiece. As then after the ensuing possession for STM, it was a double dribble, forcing Spearfish a last possession with the shot clock off. What do they do with it? Turn it over, give it back to STM, who then ran the length of the court and got the layup off right at the buzzer. So that's got the score to 43-41 for a final, and STM now makes it 10 straight wins over the Spartans.
And again, the Spartans, that final actual play of the game, they got it in, and Davis had a nice dribble to half court. He got it off in time, I believe. Just one person was guarding him, and it was no good. And that would have won it in thrilling fashion tonight for the Spearfish Spartans. But instead, the St. Thomas More Cavaliers defeat the Spearfish Spartans 43-41 in a knockdown, drag-out fight here in Spearfish tonight. St. Thomas More and Spearfish were tied up at 10 after the first quarter. Then it was St. Thomas More distancing themselves a little bit as they outscored Spearfish 18-9 in the second quarter. And that was a lot of points in the paint in that second quarter as St. Thomas More was up 28-19 at halftime. Spearfish then answered the bell. They came right back out, outscored St. Thomas More in the third quarter 13-5. And let's see, fourth quarter, St. Thomas More outscored Spearfish 10-9. Spearfish did outscore St. Thomas More in the second half, 22-15. That big three-pointer at the buzzer going into halftime gave St. Thomas More the lead, and those 3 points were big. Spearfish had some empty possessions at the end of the game. As we look inside our stat book a little bit more, for St. Thomas More, they had 6 guys score, 1 into double figures. That ended up being Wyatt Gilton, the junior, had 15 points, including a made three-pointer. Duffy hit 2 3-pointers, including that half-quarter at the buzzer of the first half. That would all be all of his points with 6 points. As we look down courtside, and what do we have here? Paul James is being joined by Ben Schultz, the head coach of the Spearfish boys basketball team. Let's send it down to Paul.
Thanks, guys. Head coach Ben Schultz here. Coach, obviously disappointed at the end there. Had a chance, had the turnover that STM committed there, and take us through what you kind of had drawn up at the end.
Yeah, we drew up just an elevator play where we wanted Cam to kind of slice off of it and Cooper to roll, get a ball in the post, and then Bennett was coming back up to the top of the key, then getting a ball screen action with the roll. The roll was there, we just couldn't complete the pass, and in turn they came down, made a play, score, and take the lead. Didn't have much time. It was unfortunate with the buzzer at the end there. They saw what action we were running, so we just had to put up a desperation to try to win the game.
So obviously, guys had a lot of sickness this past week. So it was a battle in that game. You could see maybe some fatigue, and there was guys not in school literally yesterday, right?
For sure, but every team's dealing with the same things. That's not an excuse. All credit to STM for pulling off a gutsy win, and they're the tougher team tonight, so no excuses there.
All right, but great battle tonight. Good luck next time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And that's Paul James along with head coach Ben Schultz of the Spearfish Spartans. Spearfish did use just 3 guys off the bench. We'll dive into that a little bit more with our scoring recap as the Spartans just got out physical at times in this one against the St. Thomas More Cavaliers. The Cavaliers had 6 guys score. As I mentioned, Gilton leads the way with 15 points. Paulson with the game winner. He ended up with 9 points. For St. Thomas More, they hit 3 3-pointers. They made 3 free throws. They were all done by Paulson. Now these are unofficial. Over to Spearfish, they had 5 guys score. They played 2 guys off the bench. 3 into double figures scoring. 11 points from Cameron Davis, a big 3-pointer down the stretch. 11 points from Cooper Gibbs. He had a great game overall. The last 2 minutes of the game, he had a couple things go wrong, but that young man has continued to improve, just like Bennett Corton, who had 10 points tonight for Spearfish. 4 points from Vavrusko, who that is a quiet night. All those points in the first half. And then 6 points from Dylan Doran before he fouled out. And then I don't know if this was illness related, but we did not see Ashar Hodges at all in this game. Haroon Khan, a senior, did not play at all tonight for the Spearfish Spartans, as Thomas Hughes and Mason Southern, and even Tucker Olsen got some time in off the bench for Spearfish. So again, some illness going around, but you got to make your free throws, and you can't turn the ball over. And at the end, you just got to be more physical than the other team, as the Cavaliers win at 43-41. And that last shot by Paulson, that was a tough shot for him to go coast to coast and lay that up and in.
Yeah, he just ran the length of the floor, got the bucket to go at the very end, right before the buzzer, and athleticism as that quick steal, as head coach Ben Schultz said, that the pass was there, they just weren't able to complete it, and it just fell right into the hands of Paulson. It was just a bang-bang play. Really no time for Spearfish to react, as it's either you get the foul, send them to the line for two, or you get the foul, either or. It just wasn't quite meant to be for Spearfish, and STM, again, making it now 10 straight versus the Spartans. They just keep getting closer and closer. One of these days, they're going to have to get over the hump, but they're going to have to do it playing some good defense, rebounding, and free throws. That's the name of the game for STM, and they did all three of those phases of the game better than the Spartans, hence why they got the win.
Spearfish made 8 free throws, but they attempted a lot of them. Spearfish made 3 3-pointers, 2 of them from Cameron Davis and 1 from Vavruska. And I could see how that play that Coach Schultz was talking about, how that play could be successful. Get it to Gibbs, have him maybe turn around in the paint. If that wasn't there, kick it out to Bennett Corton, who was coming right around off of that screen. And who knows what might have happened. In the end, what did happen was St. Thomas More Cavaliers getting a bucket by Paulson with just 2 seconds left to go in regulation to win at 43-41. We'll be back to check out the Junex Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard as our postgame show continues here on KDSJ Sports.
Repair has built their reputation by offering the highest quality, guaranteed repairs in the area. Satisfied customers return again and again for everything from collision repair to custom paint, glass and windshield, and the best hail repair in the region. They're preferred by most insurance companies and work with all of them. Jake's Collision Repair of Spearfish and Sturgis. Give them a Google today for the best repair on your vehicle, guaranteed.
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines, supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
Dana Dental Arts and Spearfish reminds you to make you and your family's dental health a top priority. Putting off small problems now can lead to big ones later. We are small enough to feel like family, but big enough to bring you the latest technology. Before your lives get too hectic with school, sports, and other extracurricular activities, schedule a comprehensive exam now. We love our patients. Celebrating 50 years of dentistry in Spearfish.
Let our family care for your family.
Whether you've lived here for years or if you're new to town, everyone wants to know the best place to buy a quality pre-owned car, truck, and SUV, or where to go to have your current ride kept in shape. Brandon Kemp here from Superior Auto Solutions in Spearfish. Need new tires? We got them, all major brands. Your brakes squeaking, or do you just hear something that's not quite right? We can help. Or maybe you're looking to upgrade to something a little more suitable. Well, you came to the right place. Superior Auto Solutions on Colorado Boulevard in Spearfish, or find us online at superiorautost.com.
And welcome back to the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth tonight as we'll check out the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard. Your two finals here tonight. St. Thomas More loses the first game to Spearfish 60-37, and then it's St. Thomas More getting a game-winning layup by Ashton Paulson. The 6-foot junior guard made the layup with just 2 seconds left to play in regulation for the Cavaliers to get the win 43-41 over Spearfish. Here's the rest of what went down tonight.
On the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard in Class AA basketball, of course, St. Thomas More beating Spearfish 43-41. It was Sturgis over Hill City tonight, 60-58. Number 4, Mitchell over Roosevelt, 42-38. It was Pierre over Aberdeen Central, 62-51. Number 3, Harrisburg over Brookings, 50-41. Close contest there. Harrisburg, again, ranked 3rd in the state. Brookings, meanwhile, haven't won a game this year, but only a 9-point loss for Brookings. Huron over Watertown, 64-51. It was number 1 Lincoln, again, proving why they're the top team in the state, beating up on Sioux Falls, Washington, 80-35. Number 2, Brandon Valley over Marshall, Minnesota, 65-60. Number 1, Sioux Falls Christian in Class A basketball, beating T-Area, 80-51. Meanwhile, on Class A, we got a good one going in the Heart Ranch right now. Rapid City Christian ranked 3rd in Class A, taking on Black Hills Conference opponent Custer, as both teams 10-2. And right now, under a minute left to go in the 4th, Rapid City Christian up on Custer 68-64. So a good one going over there in the Heart Ranch. Winner over Todd County 77-49 in Class B basketball. Faith beats Sundance, Wyoming 61-58. Harding County over New England, North Dakota 61-59. Timberlake over Kadoka area in overtime, 61-60. And White River over Phillip, 51-42. Dupree over Potter County, 71-54. And that will look to do it on the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard.
And it's time now to name our Superior Performance. It is our player of the game, being brought to you by Superior Auto Solutions in Spearfish. Call 605-642-9111 or see their inventory online at superioroutosd.com. Clayson Davis, as the votes come in on a Tuesday night, who gets our player of the game this evening?
Our Superior Performer, as we watch Mr. Steve Ammerman exit the Monument Health Orthopedic and Sports Medicine broadcast booth for KOTA. Anyway, back to action. Cooper Gibbs, he is our Superior Performer, as he had himself a career night scoring 10 points. Really got the Spearfish going offensively. He was big in this matchup. Again, didn't quite have what he needed for the final play of the game, but either way, Cooper Gibbs had himself a great performance, had a lot of rebounds versus a very tough St. Thomas More team as well, and overall it was just not quite enough for Spearfish to get the win, but nonetheless, you got to give a big shout out to that kid right there on KDSJ-TV, Mr. Cooper Gibbs, who's being awarded our Superior Performer of the game, being brought to you by Superior Auto Solutions in Spearfish.
Back to our Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard. Something, unfortunately, we are not able to say very often is a gold digger sweep in basketball.
You're joking.
No, I'm not. I like to be funny, but the Lee Deadwood Gold Diggers win tonight. The girls won on Saturday night, breaking a 47 or 48 game losing streak.
Game.
They win again tonight. Look out for the Lady Gold Diggers. They go over to Moorcroft to get the win, 49-38. Another game that they put up 40s on their opponent. So Lee Deadwood gets the win 49-38. I think that might be the same exact score as it was against Hot Springs on Saturday.
2 wins in a row. Wasn't that called a winning streak for the Lee Deadwood girls basketball team?
I think technically it's 3, but back-to-back wins, we'll count that.
Baby steps.
Lee Deadwood boys win tonight as well, 79-38.
A gold digger sweep.
Yeah, so there you go. Spartans do not get the sweep tonight. The girls win earlier as they had 60 points compared to 37 for St. Thomas More. Maya Kachutin had 17 points in that game to lead all scores. And in the St. Thomas More, Cavaliers get the victory late, 43-41. You're going to be wrapping up shop over there at KDSJ-TV.
Yeah, Paula James.
Fun tonight.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun tonight. As again, Paula James, who joined us earlier on KDSJ-TV. He's got a head start on cleaning up our mass production here in the Monument Health Orthopedic and Sports Medicine broadcast booth. I'm going to join them to clean up all of our toys. I will be back in action again on Thursday with KDSJ-TV only. An exclusive Spearfish Spartan basketball doubleheader as we are at Rapid City Central for a doubleheader versus the Cobblers. Tip-off for the girls' game at 6 o'clock. The boys' game to follow at 7:30. And, of course, our Jake's Collision Repair countdown to tip-off at around 5:40 on Thursday. So with that, Cody, I'll let you take this ship home from KDSJ Radio, and I will see you guys Thursday.
Remember, if you missed any of the action tonight, you can hear every game anytime. Just look for the podcast at KDSJ980.com and for video archives. And to view our live sports broadcast, subscribe to KDSJ TV on YouTube and follow KDSJ Radio on Facebook. Check out more with From the Bench podcast with our KDSJ TV channel and also some of the highlights of tonight's contest. You can see it all there through KDSJ TV. I'm Cody Oliver. We'll have one more segment on KDSJ Radio. Stick around for that, and thanks to some more of our great sponsors.